So weird. Okay. Hello. Hello, and welcome to my channel. This is the first proper video I've done on here, but I have some opinions and I wanted to share them somewhere because I'm suffering from lockdown madness. So, let's get into the shit show. So this video is about the film Music, created, directed and co-written by Sia, which stars Maddie Ziegler, of course. So before we get into this, I just want to say a couple of things. All the actors in this movie are brilliant. I can't find any faults in them, especially with the script that they were given. I mean, Leslie Odom Jr., he's so good. He's so good. Kate Hudson is great. Maddie's great. I mean, it's a difficult situation when it comes to her casting, but we'll get into that a bit later. I think it's important to remember that Maddie is only 18, so no hate to her. She's very talented, like, obviously. So I've watched this film way too many times in order to make this video. The second time, I watched it with my sister, Shula. My name is Maya.
My name is Shula.
Now, I've already seen it, and Shula hasn't.
I am very scared. I am diagnosed with autism, so this is gonna be interesting.
Okay, so here's a summary of the film. The film opens with a seizure-inducing music video. So, Music lives with her grandma. Music is autistic.
They haven't even mentioned once that she's autistic.
Yeah.
It's, I suppose people are just, like, supposed to guess through the caricatures and everything. And they haven't actually clarified it once.
She's out on one of her walks and her gran dies. We then see Zoo. Her name is Kazoo. Imagine your sister being called Music, which is actually quite a lovely name, and then your parents just call you Kazoo. So Kazoo comes and she takes care of her sister. Well, she doesn't take care of her. She comes and tries to find money, but eventually grows to love her sister, and she also falls in love with a guy called Ebo. And that's it. That's the story. The film's 2 hours long. And the rest of the 2 hours is filled up with music videos and uses side plots that don't go anywhere and contribute nothing to the story. One of them is a character that I literally can't remember the name of even after 4 times watching it, is a boxer, but he wants to be a dancer, like literally Billy Elliot. And then Ebo has a brother who is marrying his ex-wife.
My life.
Music is the title character. She's played by Maddie Ziegler. When it first came out that Maddie was cast in this role, it caused a lot of backlash for a neurotypical actress to be playing an autistic character. But I'll let Shula explain this one.
See, the thing is about neurotypicals playing autistic characters, I wouldn't mind if it was something that isn't central to the storyline. If they were mildly autistic, then I could kind of get that. If they were really educated about it, I wouldn't care as much. But something about a very abled person, as far as I know, playing a severely autistic person when it is central to the storyline and clearly isn't really that educated about it, that is what annoys me.
And to this, Sia said that she tries to cast an autistic actress, but the actress couldn't handle the environment of the set. And to that I say, make the set more accessible then. You've got a budget of $16 million. Use some of that money to create an environment where an autistic person can work. Back to the character. So Music doesn't develop as a character. She's used as a prop by the other characters around her to develop themselves. Music isn't the driver of this film. She's a passenger. And this is like so apparent in the film. This film isn't about Music, the character, not Music. What it is about, it's about Kazoo.
I have an issue with the fact that it's all about Kate Winslet. Like, if you're gonna, like,
at least try and do something for autistic kids and make it about her, make it about her journey or whatever is going on. But it just seems like she's a background character that's a burden and takes part in the dances.
On that note, let's get into the character of Kazoo. I hate this character. I hate this character so much. Which is fine at the beginning because we're supposed to hate her. Like when she gets a phone call saying her gran has died and she's just like,
did your grandmother really just die?
Yeah, it's fine.
I'm kind of sensing that there's going to be some kind of like redemption arc.
and then later she goes like,
Who's close with their grandma?
or when she steals an AA badge.
I'm going to get one of those, or can I just buy one?
When she does like a range of awful things.
Stop.
I mean, we get it. She's a bad person. They've put a sign above her head, like a neon red flashing sign saying bad person who does bad things. We get it. We know. Like, you don't have to hammer it into here. But the thing is that they hammer it in so much that when she's supposed to change, or when we're supposed to feel sympathetic to her, you can't, because she's an awful person. She's in AA and she's on probation. She's also a drug dealer for this guy who is a character all by himself. So she falls in love with the neighbour Ebo. Oh, and then she relapses and she's like a complete and utter dick to him.
God, why don't you care about?
And then she tries to play music in a facility.
My autism nowhere near as severe, but I know that I'd be devastated. You don't know what's happening inside her head. She could be screaming, I love you, I want to stay with you.
But eventually decides not to, and it's all like a happy ending. I still hate her. Like, there's so many times that they, with like the sad music, they try and get us to sympathize with her. And she's got like...
There's a dark girl vibe you got going on.
No, she's just...
This woman is dumb. I don't like her.
Okay, so here is my theory. The character of Kazoo was written by Sia for Sia. I think her intention was to play this character herself. But she didn't take the role in the end. Something happened. Probably she couldn't act. But it makes so much sense if you think about it this way. This is why Kazoo is the main character in every single scene. Because the story's about her, because Sia wanted to play it.
But hey, that's just a theory. A film theory.
Then we have Ebo. So Ebo used to have a brother who was like music. Again, they don't mention the word autistic, but he's always over, like all the time, to help out with music, and that's like really sweet. And there's actually a really nice touch that I like, where when music goes to bed, she says go to bed in Ebo's accent, which is one of the actual really nice little details I really like. So Ebo falls in love with Zoo, which is fine, but why?
So I get why she likes him, because who wouldn't? I don't know what he sees in her.
And I don't understand why. Why? Like, the whole movie, you see the two flirting all the time. Like, the whole time they're flirting, I'm literally screaming in my head. It hurts my head. Also, Ebo has HIV. I didn't understand that until my fourth time watching. Does it come up again? No. Does it add to the story? No. Does it expand his character? No. Why is it there? In my opinion, to tick another box. Here is the deep film for the Oscars bingo card. So far, we've got drugs, disability, chronic illness. We'll get back to the rest later. So Ebo was a professional boxer and now he teaches kids. He gets guilt-tripped into helping out with music by Zoo.
I have no one.
Yeah, it's not like I have a sister or anything.
So, spoilers, obviously, but at the end of the film, Ebo is giving a speech at his brother's wedding, and he's making this speech, and Zoo and music come in and, like, crash the wedding, which, again, fuck you, Zoo, like, this is a wedding, why are you turning up here in your tutu and bra? Anyway, and he, like, just forgives her and falls in love with her for what, like turning from an awful person into doing the bare minimum? Right, but that said, I actually like the character of Ebo. Like, apart from the utter stupidity, he's the best character in the film. And I also love Leslie Odom Jr. and I really, really love him. I really love him. Okay, moving on to one of the side stories. So this is about a character called Felix, apparently. He's the one I couldn't remember the name of. I just had to look it up on my phone. Felix is one of their both students. He's a nice guy. He doesn't want to box, he wants to dance.
Where are you?
He's been adopted by his parents. His dad is abusive. There's the cheesiest of cheesy scenes where he's like about to fight some kid, like they're about to have a boxing match. And he just holds out his arms and does this. And oh my god, that is something that I would do in like a GCSE drama. Oh, and then he gets killed by his dad while his dad is attacking his mum. Death.
What did that have to do with anything? What is this? You've got all this and you're going, this is bad and bad things happen, and you're like, right, okay, and what's the story? And they're going, story?
Right, and it's sad. I'm not trying to make fun of these issues. I'm just saying you can't tackle all of these issues in one film. You can't, because then it just seems like pandering. But the problem with him dying, and it's sad that he dies, but the problem is that we've spent 5 minutes with this character. We don't know him. We don't know who he is. We know he wants to be like a dancer. Why are we supposed... Like, obviously you care about humans, but we have no emotional investment in this character. So then when he dies, it's like, what was that about? Like, I didn't understand who he even was until Shula told me. It's just trying to squeeze another sad thing into there. And again, it adds nothing to the plot. There's no reason to have it in there.
Remind you why we adopt this.
Let's get into the music videos. Initially, this film was supposed to be a straight drama. But then Sia was offered an extra $10 million to make it musical. So she did. And that makes complete sense to me because the music videos have absolutely nothing to do with the film. Like, at first I thought it was an artistic expression of how music sees the world or what music is feeling inside. But then there's whole music videos where about stuff that music doesn't know about, or there's a couple where music isn't even in it. Honestly, it feels like product placement. Like, this is a movie to sell an album. And I'm not gonna lie, the music videos are good. Like, by themselves, they're good. They've got brilliant colours and, wonderful lighting, and the choreography is so good, and the dances are incredible. But it doesn't belong in this movie. And, like, I get that it's supposed to be, like, an artistic addition to the film. Like, it has no purpose being there. There's no reason for it to be there whatsoever. It doesn't do anything. And this song is questionable.
1 + 1. I'm still trying to figure out what 1 + 1 has to do with the rest of the lyrics. It's just any lyric and then it just goes 1 + 1.
The Among Us musical ripoff.
Let the beat take you away.
After Felix dies, I still can't remember his name. There's this song and dance like where they say goodbye to him because the Gran is there as well, and she's like riding on a bike and he gets taken off.
Oh, it's a dead kid. He's standing like someone in GCSE drama.
Is it supposed to be like heaven or something?
Why? Why is music in heaven? Well, exactly, because he's there and her mum is there, or her grandma. Maybe Maddie Ziegler is just like God or something.
But the two characters saying goodbye to him have no way to know that he's dead. Like, music doesn't know that he's dead, and Kazoo is singing a song there, but she's never met the guy. She's never met the guy. And I think this is because some scene was taken out where she did meet him, or there were some scenes taken out where, like, they were supposed to have, like, more... We were supposed to learn more about the character, but these were taken out in order to put some music videos in there. Like, they've literally just squeezed everything because they needed to make it shorter so they could just put this product placement in. Okay, and this music video... I cannot say a bad thing about my boy. Leslie Odom Jr. is incredible. He's incredible. I love his voice. I love this song. I actually really like this one because it's like, it's simple, it's emotive. But what is this?
I thought you meant it was gonna be good.
Why?
I was like really into it until I saw the trousers. What are these? What are they supposed to represent? What kind of metaphor are they? I don't get it. Like, as I said, I wouldn't mind just watching these music videos if it added to the story, but it doesn't. If anything, it just detracts from it. That's a big word. Detracts. Okay. The writing. The writing is the worst part about this movie. It's so awful, and it makes it so much more impressive that the actors did what they did because they had to work with this script. I've always been told the main rule of screenwriting is to show, not tell. They tell. Oh, they tell everything. She's a drug dealer.
He's the drug dealer.
Yeah, she's the drug dealer.
She's an addict.
Don't take drugs.
Me neither. But that's just because I took way too many.
He's a drug dealer.
Do you understand how it works? If you don't give me what I need, then I have to do something bad. I don't want to do something bad. Do you understand?
Their mom was a drug addict.
She was a junkie.
He's a boxing champion.
Mr. New York's own amateur middleweight regional champion.
This is Sia.
Is that a Sia wig?
Which, by the way, right, there's a whole scene which Sia put herself into where she's like talking with Kazoo because she wants to buy some drugs to ship off to some poor children or something who are in pain. Why are you getting them from like a low-level drug dealer? Like, go to a pharmacist or something. It doesn't make sense. Also, she's doing this whole like self-deprecating thing where she's making herself out to be like a bad person, so people will go, oh, Sia, you're not actually like that. Like Ricky Gervais does, but it just doesn't work.
Also, you get just as good publicity faking it as actually going there, so everyone's a winner.
Dislocated. And it's really sad.
Yeah. Right, so the writing is so clunky. Everyone just says what they mean. There's no nuance, there's no subtext. They literally just say exactly what they're thinking. And all the characters talk in the same way. They all talk in exactly the same rhythm, exactly the same beat. Not because of the acting, but because the script is written in a way where there's no differentiation. Difference. There's no difference between how any of the characters talk. Okay, so my favourite part in the writing is the only part that actually made me laugh just because of how stupid it is. So anytime any character mentions that someone has died, they'll be talking about someone, they'll be like, oh yeah, I really love my grandma. She's dead now. And it's not like it's not like a character quirk, like where one person says this. Every single character explains things like this. So it's not a character choice, it's a writing choice for all of them.
My grandma died.
He is dead now.
And then he was hit by a car.
There is so much that is brought up and just never talks about again. Never. It just doesn't come up. It's like you think something's going to be important. Like, oh my god, okay, so there's this, like, lolly sticks bit where the Gran has these lolly sticks that she writes weird facts on. It's, like, the only number between 1 and 10 that has 2 syllables is 7, which is true, and I didn't know that. So she like reads these to music, and at first I thought, oh, that's sweet, that's really sweet. When she's about to die, she's like reading it to herself, and I'm thinking, but you clearly wrote these. Like, you clearly like went on the internet and wrote these down, so how do you not know the facts already? And she dies with these like lolly sticks in her hands, so I'm like, okay, these are going to be important. They never come up, they never get mentioned ever again. Even when they do like the music video with the swimming pool, I was like, okay, someone's going to bring up something about ice lollies. They have snow cones. I don't think it's related though. I think that's a bit of a step.
We don't even get snow cones in England. We make snow cones, not proper ones. Yeah, it's true.
And I don't know how to get one, but I really want one. Anyways, and this is my favorite clip from the movie.
I'm gonna sing, and then you're gonna be like, oh, you should have been a singer. Music.
It just reminds me of something.
Why are you making me sing? I hate singing. When do I even come in? I don't know.
Okay, so I think my main problem with the writing, apart from it being totally unrealistic and boring, is that if you took away the unnecessary storylines, the unnecessary characters, unnecessary music videos, you'd have about 20 minutes of footage of film. You'd have like a 20-minute short film. The movie's 2 hours long. Okay, so this is the big one. Probably the most controversial thing about this movie. And before I get into this, I just want to say that I am not an expert on anything. I'm not an expert, especially in autism, people on the spectrum, or people on any spectrum, or people in general. I'm not an expert. This is just my opinion. But Shula is better at describing it than I am, so I'll let her.
Right, okay. So, as someone who is, I would say, is a connoisseur of meltdowns and sensory overloads, I don't have them as much anymore. But if anyone was to do this to me, this is just going to make it 10,000 times worse. I'm just gonna, like, I feel like I'm just gonna fight back even more. And this is, like, I've heard about this scene in the movie as well, and, like, restraining someone during a meltdown can be genuinely dangerous. Like, I feel like the rest of this film, it's controversial. It's a very controversial film, but this part is genuinely dangerous. People have died from being restrained during meltdowns. I love the inspirational music in the background.
Oh yeah.
Like someone hasn't just restrained someone as if in a way that could literally kill them. She's just had a fucking meltdown, and then there's this inspirational music in the background. Yeah. It's just like,
Ouch! She's hitting me.
She doesn't know who she is hitting.
Okay, stop.
It makes me really angry that this film
You get a snow cone?
shows that as like a compassionate thing.
Where's snow cone?
I don't acceptable thing to do.
And an acceptable thing to do.
I feel like the thing that they could have at least done was don't actually do this, or some kind of trigger warning or something. Because even just watching,
I think it's good you are here with her. It's good for her. You two being so close in age.
Imagining someone doing that to
You think I'm close to her age?
Imagine being someone doing that to me.
Emotionally.
This, we're not experts. This is just our opinion. So there's a couple of scenes where they use restraint to calm music when she's having a meltdown. So, restraint should only ever be used as a last resort. Only ever be used as a last resort. This is not the first thing you jump to. You only use this if the person having a meltdown is in serious danger of harming themselves or harming people around them. And especially in this scene, she's having a meltdown, she's in an open park, she's got loads of space, and she gets thrown down, straddled, and pinned to the ground. Can you imagine how that would feel? You're completely overwhelmed, and you get pinned to the ground. And it's not even, they don't even try anything else. They go straight to this, which should never happen. And to have this in your film almost, because every time Musa gets up and she feels calmer. But to have this in your film as something to be admired or something to learn or like a good way to calm someone down is so... It's so irresponsible to promote that idea. Like, this is just not okay. And on that note, fuck Autism Speaks, in my opinion.
I am autism. I'm visible in your children, but if I can help it, I am invisible to you until it's too late.
And how in the world could anyone on the team that made this film allow themselves to work with a company like Autism Speaks? Like, did no one do any research into anything? And, you know, apparently Autism Speaks only came on in the last couple of months of production. Okay, you still worked with them. You still took advice from them. It just baffles me that in this whole production, no one ever stopped and just went, are you sure we should do it this way? Are you sure we should cast a neurotypical actress? Are you sure we should restrain an autistic character? Are you sure we should make her non-verbal and a stereotype of people with autism? Or maybe they did. Maybe they did. And no one listened. So, in conclusion, this film is tone deaf, dangerous and pointless. It's great to have more autistic representation in the media, especially about women who have autism, because that's so underrepresented. But you know the best way to get more autistic representation? Hire people. Hire people with autism to be directors, to be producers, to be actors and actresses. I think Shula says it best.
This is such a recurring thing about this movie. You know it's not made for autistic people. It's made for able people who want their inspiration porn.
So, I do not recommend this movie. I don't know if you can tell. I don't know if you can tell whether I like it or not, but I don't like it. And if you want to just watch the music videos on YouTube, that's a lot better of a time. So please remember that these are just my opinions. These are just me and Shula's opinions. We're not experts. And the ones I've said without her are just my opinions, not hers. Don't take our word as gospel. Not that you were going to. And if you have different opinions, if you don't agree with mine, that's fine. Happy to have open discussions. I'm happy for people to disagree. And I think we should be having these conversations. So this has been an interesting first video. Well, it's not my first video on the channel, but it's my first proper video. And I have no idea how to end this. Alright, okay. Do a proper YouTuber send-off. Okay guys, so that's going to do it for today. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe and leave a comment down below. And make sure to turn on all the notifications so you don't miss the next video.
Don't forget, this video is sponsored by NordVPN.
Not really, I wish.